Hi, thanks for joining us for another edition of Chronic Conversations. I'm your host, Jerry Anderson, aka Jerry Leonard, and joining me tonight is a very special guest. Before I get to him, let me give a shout out to my sponsor, Sean Thompson at Thompson's Personal Training. You can get in touch with him through Facebook or through me. If you go through Facebook, let him know that I sent you, and you get one free lesson, which is $40 value. Also to NGWA Pro Wrestling. Don't forget their next event is October 23rd, and it's Rawhead Rex versus the Monster Cyrus. And joining me now, man, thank you very much for joining me. A little bit of everything. Let's go over it. I could start at high school, we'll start at college. Defensive lineman, teacher of the year, coach, pro MMA fighter, boxer, bare knuckle fighter, professional Muay Thai, and just got through with a submission fight. Did I leave anything out?
That's it, man. I guess I'm just a jack of all trades, huh?
Right. Which one out of those, before we get started, just out of my curiosity, which one of those do you enjoy doing the most, do you think?
Out of the sports or just
Yeah,
everything
because I know you started like jiu-jitsu and stuff first and then transitioned, but
So I think, man, I think I enjoy the bare knuckle boxing. I really do. But if I had to quit everything and just focus on one thing, I think it'd just be just starting my getting back to my jiu-jitsu journey, man.
right.
That's how I started, and when I get old, I'll still be doing jiu-jitsu.
They'll
So
be doing that. They got masters for that, right?
they got old folks leagues for that. So
I'm
I'll be
so
good to
glad.
go.
And you won your last one. I told you off air, congratulations. So congratulations on there. You'll hear me calling it a submission fight, and anybody that says a submission grappling is not a fight has never been in one.
True story. There you
Yeah,
go.
true story from day one. It's a battle. Um, so one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here, there's a lot going on in the news. Um, a guy I was a fan of, but I'm kind of losing a little respect for. I'm one of those guys that's always been a big John Jones fan. He's been back in the news again. You know, everybody's got their troubles. I don't judge any man. I've got my own demons, but it seems that he keeps popping up with poor character. And to me, even in this day and time, people are still associating fighting with violence or a woman beater or things like that. But then comes along Juan Torres, like I said, teacher of the year, coach, a man of great character. What do you tell people to dispel the myth that just because you're in a violent sport that makes you violent outside, when I think it makes you even less violent?
I agree with that, man. I think knowing how to control your anger, how to control, whatever comes at you, it, it, it keeps you from being violent. I think fighters are the least violent people. You get
Yeah,
dumbasses like John Jones out there doing stuff, but for the most part, man, we're the most peaceful people you'll ever meet.
yeah,
You know,
down to earth.
down to earth, just whatever's whatever, and the people that are judging, the people that are out there saying fighters are this and fighters are that, obviously they've probably never been to a gym. They don't
No,
understand. you know you walk into a gym, man, and the guy that's been there the longest, the guy with the most experience will probably be the first one to walk up to you, introduce himself, and say, hey, welcome to the gym.
right.
So I think that's just crap, and it's bad that's going on, but you
I've
always get to
actually heard.
plant seeds.
Yeah, I had kind of thought that we were at a place like when I first started getting into jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff. It wasn't that popular. We was just around like UFC one or two. Um, but there are people who still think that is MMA, and it surprises me. I actually had somebody ask me that not too long ago. They go, "So they're using gloves in MMA now?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I got like 20 something years, 25 years to catch you up on. How long have you been doing this now, and what's changed the most since you've been in it?"
I think I started in 2011. I just, getting done with college, I wanted to compete. I thought I was a badass myself. I thought
Mhm.
I can go
I've seen you fight. You
anywhere.
are.
Yeah, so I mean, back then, I got
Yeah,
heart.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's heart more than I don't think I'm a badass, man.
yeah.
But I walked into a gym, and coach introduced himself. I got to spar the baddest dude there. I got showed that I wasn't a badass, and we went from there. I fell in love with the sport. The jujitsu, the different martial arts. There's different, martial arts, man. Jujitsu, boxing, the Muay Thai, all of it, man. I started falling for all of it, and you know, the way I am, I want to try everything. I want to see
Right.
what everything feels like. That way, when I get old, I can say I did it all. Hell.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, that's definitely some stories to tell the kids and grandkids, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, look at what
I mean,
Papa did.
my boy, he'll sit at home when I'm, flying out to Vegas or Miami or whatever, and he'll pull up all my fights and watch them on YouTube. So that's
You
that. I
got the
want to leave,
YouTube.
yeah, I want to leave some type of, legacy or whatever, my little mini legacy.
Right. Does he show any interest in getting anything like that? Is he into any kind of sports right now?
I just put him in jujitsu. He's
Nice.
already doing jujitsu. I already got a call from his teacher asking why he had a black eye, and my mom had to explain to her that I'm a boxer, and he's gonna fall right into that, man. It's great discipline, especially for
Yeah.
these kids nowadays.
And it's humbling. I mean, every day you learn something new, and every day you're humbled. No matter how good you think you've gotten, what rank, belt, who passed their guard last week or tapped out this week.
Right.
Next week,
I've had the smallest guys. You walk into especially a jiu-jitsu gym, and the guy that's sitting over there in the corner, he might be 125 pounds, and you
yes,
you
sir.
get to roll with him, and he
Yep.
puts you in an arm bar. It humbles you real quick. So yeah,
You
I
tap
agree.
out one guy real quick, and then you get to that rubber guy that's made out of rubber, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
this taps everybody. What's going
yeah,
on here?
yeah, yeah. So it keeps you humble. It definitely keeps you humble.
Speaking of coming up against somebody like that, what kind of conversation are you having with yourself in your head when you do come up against adversity in the ring? Maybe something you haven't seen before, or a new technique, or somebody's frustrating you.
I try to keep my mind just clear, especially in a fight. I've heard a lot of guys talk about, oh, I think about all the stuff that makes me mad or all the stuff that makes me upset, and I'm in the ring doing this, and I can't do that. Like I've tried, and I've gotten my butt, handed to me trying to do that training or sparring, and I can't do
Right.
that, man. I keep my mind clear. I control my breathing, and
Mm-hmm.
if one round goes south, I sit down and me and Ernest talk about it and
Mm-hmm.
take a deep
Shout out
breath,
to
get
Ernest
back.
Johnson.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Johnson, man. Him and Mike Hammer, man. Mike Hammer,
Mm-hmm.
he's in the hospital right now. He's fighting COVID, and like I tell everybody around here, man, if anybody's gonna beat COVID and show them that just because you go to the hospital and you got COVID don't mean you're not coming out, it's gonna be
That's
Mike.
right.
So for sure, shout out to both my coaches, man, and my manager, Junior. So
Man, and while I'm here, I'll say shout out to 4611 Aston Mark. Congratulations on his
oh
win.
yeah, oh
Avis,
yeah,
the underdog Griffin.
that's right. All them boys from Chattanooga. Yep.
All the boys from Chattanooga, which is where I met you the first time, which led me to YouTube. And like I said, thank goodness for YouTube. So I've watched a lot of your fights, and I may have even heard an announcer mention it. I can't remember, but one of the things I thought watching your fights is, do you just not feel pain? Do you not get hurt, or are you just so good at no selling? Because I've never seen anybody no sell like that before.
Man, I feel the pain. I don't know, man. I guess adrenaline and just,
Yeah,
continuously trying to show everybody that I might get beat, but you're not gonna knock me out.
right,
You're gonna have a fucking fight. You're gonna fight your ass off. It's gonna be the
right,
hardest fight of your life, and you're gonna know my name at the end of the night. So, just keeping that in mind. I guess you could say my ego, my pride, whatever it is, man.
right,
I'm not there just to lay down for you. We're gonna fight and
right.
you're gonna feel it. So
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, almost everybody's got a tell, and I watched some of those fights over and over and over, thinking, watching, where they got a kick in or something, and there was no kind of smirk or wince or the little eyes or the nothing, nothing you normally see in a fighter. And I was like, that's just smooth. That's just cool, because that's got to break up somebody that you're fighting. It's like, no matter what I'm throwing at this dude, he's literally smiling at me, and you can tell you're happy, that you're enjoying it.
yeah. I just growing up in Houston, man, you can't show weakness. I firmly believe, man, you might, if even if you're hurting inside
Hmm.
or whatever, you don't show weakness, man. You don't show weakness because they jump on it. They jump on
Yeah.
it. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If you show weakness in life, period, people will jump on it. So why just why not just keep a smile on your face and fight your demons, man? Whatever
Right.
it
Right.
is, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it is, man.
Mhm.
So just fight your demons, keep a smile on your face, keep the faith and keep going, man.
So how was Juan Torres as a kid? How was he growing up? Elementary school, middle school, high school.
Juan Torres as a kid was a little troublemaker, man. He was a little
Yeah.
shit. And that's probably why I'm so good at my job now because I teach behavioral kids
Hmm.
and I
That's why
love
I
it.
asked. That's why I asked because I figured there was a transition story here, and I wanted to
Yeah.
hear people hear that because of who you are at one point in time in your life is not who you are at another point in time, and you get to decide who you are. So
Right.
sorry for interrupting, but go ahead and finish your
No,
story.
no. I mean, I was a little hoodlum, a little thug, man.
Hmm.
I thought I was, transparent. Nothing could get to me, and
Hmm.
life taught me a bunch of lessons on the way to being who I am now.
Right.
I almost had my leg amputated in a street
Oh my God.
accident, trying to be a thug.
Of
Um,
course.
I've been jumped on. I've been jumped on with bats and all kinds of stupid crap, man. That I probably really didn't need to be out there anyways. I've been shot
Right.
at, been stabbed, all that
It
crap,
happens.
man. But so yeah, it happens. Yeah, so you know, I'm I hate that I had to learn that way,
Right.
but I also love it because like you said, I don't know fear. The only thing I fear is the Lord, the God. That's it. Other
Yeah.
than that, man, I'll jump into a freaking, into a fire and battle my way out. And I'm not saying I'll make it, but you know,
I
I'm
could
not
see
scared.
you running through hell covered in gasoline to get at something you
Yeah,
needed to get at for sure.
that's right, man. Yeah, so just I don't know fear, man. So
Well, let me ask you this: jumping back to the different things you do. When I used to do grappling tournaments back in the days, different places have different rule sets, and you got to kind of train for those rule sets because something that's legal here might get you disqualified here. Well, you're not only just doing different grappling tournaments, like you're doing different arts. One you can knee a guy, one you can't.
yeah,
How do you make that transition? Is it just the training up to that point, or how do you not in a jiu-jitsu match, throw an elbow
throw
or
an elbow. Yeah.
yeah,
So man, and it's funny. It's funny you say that. This grappling match, we were both on our knees at one point, and my mind went straight for it. But like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I could get an easy body shot right here, and I kind of did like this, and you see me reach for his neck. Like it's just you
pummel.
got yeah, yeah, you got to be mentally aware, man. I'm real
Right.
real mentally aware, really know what's going on. During camp we practice what we're gonna do. So
Hmm.
I'm more of a boxer now anyway, so that's strictly what I do. The bare knuckle boxing was a little bit different than gloved boxing.
Right.
There's things that we worked on a little bit different. Maybe duck your head. Let him punch you on the top of the head.
Right. Yeah.
That way he breaks his
Makes sense.
fist. Things like that. But you,
Or not breaking
you,
your own fist in something like that. You don't have the gloves. People always think gloves are to protect the other guy's face. It's like, no, that's protect
right,
your fist.
exactly. Throwing. In bare knuckle boxing, you can't throw full power to someone's head for that reason because they'll duck
Right.
their head, right? So you work on that. It's just during camp is really when I get mentally prepared and you just got to stay aware. You just always got to be aware of what's going on in your surroundings and everything. So
Yeah. Has that
definitely during camp.
has that ever led to? Has there been anybody? I would hope not, for their sake. But has anybody ever tried to test you? Because I know Joe
Test
Schilling. Do you know who Joe Schilling is? That
that name
kickboxer.
sounds familiar. Uh
He's probably most famous for how many cigarettes he smokes and can still do pro kickboxing. But
huh.
a bad dude nonetheless. But somebody tried him not too long ago and figured out it wasn't the best idea. So it's one of my
Oh,
favorite questions. I'm just curious, like, has anybody tried you or?
Like out of the ring, right? Out
Yeah,
in the
out of the
street.
ring. Yeah, out of the
Man, dude,
street.
I haven't been in any type of arguments or any. I think I had one guy one time say something, and I was like, man, just relax, dude. Like, back off. And they can go about, oh, I'll kick your ass and I'll do this, and I'm just like, okay, man, whatever. Just don't try me. That's all I ask. You know, I've been, it's been years, 5 years, maybe 6 years since I've been in some type of
Tussle.
altercation out here. Yeah,
Right.
and that was just like I slapped the dude across the face and he ran off. So it was,
Yeah.
I try to stay out of the way, man. That's
So he thought about it and then figured out that might have not been the best idea. He had
yeah.
that night.
I guess I got a good slap hand. So yeah.
Now you played. Speaking of sports, you played the defensive lineman in college. Is that correct?
I was a defensive tackle, nose guard. I was a nose guard. I
No
was
guard. Okay.
360 pounds. So
But you dropped down to
350.
what for fighting?
Right now, I'm sitting at 230, 225.
You're looking
I'm
really
playing.
thin.
Yeah, I'm getting down there. I'm not used to. To me, this is little, and I'll tell people, I'm like, man, I'm so little right now, and they're like, dude, you're big. You're 230. I was like, no,
You
big's
don't
300
understand.
pounds. Yeah,
Right.
big is 300, 260. I'm big. I feel big at 260. I'm strong at 260. At 300 pounds, I'm bench pressing 500 pounds, squatting, 700 pounds. I'm a big boy.
Right.
Like,
Right.
mentally, that's where I'm at. And now
Uh-huh.
I'll put on that heavy weight, and I'll be like, man, I can't push this like I used to. You know?
Man. So it has affected your performance a little bit, dropping.
Yeah, well, strength wise, but other than that, man,
Was your
my
speed picked
cardio's
up or
good.
anything? Your cardio's good, a
My
lot better.
cardio's good. I can run. I can run 3, 4 miles in the morning, and you know, I got what I need now for boxing. I don't need to be
Right.
a strong man anymore. I don't need to be
Right.
a defensive tackle. So it's just a mental. It's a mindset.
Right. If it's this kind of recomposition, right? Because it's, being in shape for one sport, even if it's, your different sports is a different conditioning for the other anyway.
Right. Right. So I'm
So
where I need to be.
how did you get down there? Just
Sauna suits are my best friend. I
sauna suit.
probably have. I bought this thick sauna suit, and I have two sitting in the back ready for this one to rip. So I'm always wearing sauna suits, and especially in the boxing gym. In the summers, they look at me like I'm crazy. I go through like 3 pairs of shoes in one session because of the
Yeah.
sauna suits. So
Oh,
I
man.
yeah, I'll drop about 10 to 15 pounds easy water weight just in the sauna suit.
I remember those when I was in amateur boxing on the day we had Tennessee Golden Gloves. Before we weighed in, we'd run 5 miles and drop the last little bit of weight. When I got back, I was still a pound or two away from even one more down than I normally fought at. And he goes, you want to put on the sauna suit and do some jump rope? And you get down that next weight class. And I was thinking, I think this is a good weight class for me. I think I feel really comfortable here, coach.
Yep, yep. So I know. I think one time I dropped down to 205 to fight Roger Narvaez for Fury FC. That was like,
Mhm.
I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I got down to 207, and I
Mhm.
couldn't. I stopped sweating. Like, they had to take.
Right.
I forgot how much money they took from my check because I couldn't cut the last 2 pounds. So that's the
I
lowest
get
I've
that,
ever.
but that's a crazy thing, isn't it? I mean, what happened is you were literally dehydrated. There was nothing for you to sweat. That's kind of dangerous, especially. And I'll go into this. I don't remember the name of the gentleman. Something else we talked about before. First of all, condolences to his family. A fighter from BKFC that was injured, and they were trying to see if he's going to come back around. Didn't make it.
Uh-huh.
How does, like, I know you're a warrior, but how do family and friends deal with something like that when you go into the ring? Because this is real. Like we talk, this is real life and death
Yeah.
situations. This is you're putting your life on the line. It's not just a cliche. You're literally putting your life on the line to follow a dream and entertain people.
Right.
Of
I think my mom takes it the worst. She's scared, and
course,
you know, I try not to tell her too much. She asks what the other guy looks like. I'm like, man, he's just some scrawny guy. Don't worry about it, mom. I'm gonna come out on top always. And that I guess that might ease her pain or her worries a little bit. But
right.
it's been times where she wouldn't even watch fights. She'd just wait for the results to come through, or my brother would call her. So I think my mom takes it the worst.
Right.
My little boy, actually, the last fight I think I fought on Fox, and they all got together, and my mom said that he was like, you could see he was super nervous watching me fight. So I
Right.
guess he maybe he doesn't understand it yet, or whatever, but she said he was nervous about it. Every time I'd get hit, he'd look down, cover his face, you know.
Well,
So
even like I know I used to get, and you probably feel the same way. You get really more nervous for your teammates when they go to fight than you do for yourself. Like it's a
right,
whole different kind of bundle of nerves, right?
right. It's yeah, it's nerve wracking. You see how much work they put in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, man, they have to win all this work that they've put in, and they have to come out on top. And it's scary just, you know, knowing that one might have an injury and they're trying to cover it up, and he's going in there with an injury, and the other guy might be 100. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I'd say I get more nervous watching, these kids, these amateur kids go out
Yeah.
there and tussle. So that definitely me. I don't think I get butterflies anymore before I go in the ring. I'm
Right.
just like, all right,
Yeah.
here we
Well,
go.
I've tried to explain to people if fighters get nervous anyway, it's not like they're scared of getting beat up. They've been doing this their whole lives.
Right.
What they're scared of is possibly losing or letting themselves down, letting their families down, letting their coaches down. A lot of people who believed and put a lot of work in them as well, because even though you only see that one person in the ring, there's usually a pretty good sized team of support, both trainers and family and everything behind you that help propel you, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Junior, definitely Ernest. Mike. When
Mhm.
they put in hours, man. There's sometimes where I can't even get into the gym until 8 o'clock, and Ernest is out there, and Mike is out
Yeah.
there waiting on me, and I might be the last one in the gym, and we don't get out till 10:30. So putting in 6 to 8 weeks of that, and then going out and not performing the way you want to it's scary. It's nerve
Yeah.
wracking.
Yeah.
I had one fight where I just I came out super positive, super confident, and you could look and see my manager Junior, and he looked nervous because the other guy, he was big, he was bigger than
Yeah.
me. He had like over 30 boxing matches, and I was like, man, I got this. Don't worry, don't worry. I got this. And inside, I'm like, man, if I fucking lose, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to hide my face and go straight to the hotel because it's gonna be embarrassing, man. And
Right.
first round goes by, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this in the third round. Third round for sure, I got this. And I go to the corner, and if you know me and you know my fights, like you said, I laugh and smile and
Yeah.
all that. In the break, I look up at Junior, and he's sitting up top at one of those little VIP areas, and I got this. Don't worry. In the middle of the fight, and everybody just starts laughing, man. But it ended up second round. I knocked him out with a body shot. I think I broke a rib or something, and
Oof.
we're in the back, and he's telling me, he's like, man, I was so nervous. I was so, I was like, I got this. I told you, I'm good. We're good. So yeah.
Speaking of a cracked rib, what's worse pain, cracked rib or a real bad liver shot?
My God, those liver shots are something else, man. The
Everybody should
fight
have
with
to experience one once.
Man, oh my God. If it's one thing that'll take me out, is a liver shot. Oh my God, man. I've had my eye busted just wide open because I'd rather cover the liver shot that I just took
Yeah,
rather
yeah, go
than,
ahead and hit me in the face.
man. Yeah, just do whatever to my face. Just leave my liver alone, man. Because
And it's a
that,
delayed reaction. So when I first got kicked, I thought, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
yeah.
Oh, and
And
then
then all of
it's
a sudden,
indescribable. It's not like anything. It's a new
man.
pain. I call it a new pain. You got
Yeah.
every time you experience a pain you haven't experienced before, it's a new pain.
Yep. Yep. That liver, man, that ain't no joke. And I've tried to make it a part of my arsenal now. Like, I'm a southpaw, so it's a little bit harder to get that liver shot, but I'll aim for your
Right.
body more than I will your head because I know the
Yeah.
body hurts more. So
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's a lot of people don't realize that either. Is that it's really more painful to take some of those body shots than head shots because
yep.
something about because you're focused and you're just laser in the tunnel and stuff. So the punches are coming at your face, but you're not even thinking about it. But
Yeah.
you take a liver shot or you get a cracked rib, then all of a sudden,
Yep.
you're pulled out of that zone. You're like, okay.
That'll wake your ass up real quick. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I would do that. You would just look stone faced at them. I don't know if you got some Russian in you or Samoan or
I
a little
actually
bit.
do have Samoan
Yeah,
blood in me.
with that for some reason, that's when you fight. That's what you remind me of.
A Samoan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
got
so
Samoan
probably
blood, I think, through my mom's side, I believe.
I was going to tell you if you weren't sure, you need to go ahead and do a 23 and me because there's some in there somewhere. So what do your kids, man? What do they think about their teacher being in something like this? And do you use that?
They love it, man. They love
Yeah.
it. I can say, I've been I've been to where you guys want to be, especially my players. They want to play on ESPN. They want to play on those big stages, man. So
Right.
You keep focused, keep your mind straight, do what you're supposed to do inside of the school, because those behaviors are they're huge, man. Like I said, actually today I ended up getting on a whole group because, man, it's just like sometimes they act like they don't care, and it's like, man, y'all need to focus, y'all need to do the right thing so that y'all, because some of these guys are super athletic, man. They can do something with their lives, and it's like, y'all got to cut the crap, man. I know y'all are young and y'all don't understand yet, but take it from me, y'all need to get your stuff right. I've shown them my leg, man. My leg is pretty scarred up. It's bad. So, I've got my battle wounds from when I was a kid, and if I can help any kid avoid that, I sure as hell will.
Which is probably one of the reasons, the universe, God, whatever, sent you through those trials and tribulations so you could be that person for them. Because without that, then kids like that, they need real. They're not going to listen to somebody who doesn't understand them or hasn't been there, right?
Right. I agree with that, man. I think, if I was a kid and I ran across somebody that, had all those scars and just the way I try to talk to them, I try to talk to them not like a teacher, like I'm one of them. Like, I've been there. I know what you're going through. You have to do this. It might be tough right now, but you got to get through this so you can get to the big stuff, So
yeah,
I relate with them really well, I believe, and a lot of them, they do listen. There's a couple guys that I believe right now that I've helped change their mindsets and refocus. So as long
I'm sure
as long
there's
as
probably many more that you don't even know about.
right, it might be that one that just acted like he didn't care, or he wasn't listening, and he's out there, changing his life. So
change your life. You planted the seed. There were a lot of seeds planted in my youth that didn't take hold at the time, but they started to grow, and different people would water them, different mentors and things, and brought those things out of them. So even if you're just, I say, with somebody for a season, and don't change their whole life, if you can at least plant a seed, then the universe is going to bring somebody along to water that and cultivate it and do what needs to be done. As long as we do our job.
Right.
So what is your calling? What is your calling? Is it a teacher? Is it a fighter? Is it what? If you could only put one thing after I am, what would it be?
My calling is to be the best person I can be for my niece and nephew. So I adopted my niece and nephew. My calling is to just make sure that they can live their lives as normal as possible, and just my calling is to be their protector, basically.
Right.
So and the teaching, that falls right in, I believe, too. So the teacher, being a teacher, and definitely those two kids mean the world to me. So
right. Well, man, you're a great role model, and I put that on one of the things, kids. If you're looking for a role model, an athlete role model, this is one I hear all the time from athletes, and I do agree. It's not their job to raise children, but they are looked upon with great value from children. So, what do you say to people who may say that it's not your job to be a role model, but you chose to do that anyways? Do you think it's just people's choice and it is what it is, or do you think once you're in that position, then you're kind of
I think once you're in that position, I mean you have to just realize like, man, everybody's watching you, and especially these kids are watching you. These kids
Right.
they want to be like you. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
out there drinking, if you're out there beating on your old lady or whatever it is,
Right.
they're gonna think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because they're
the best
mimickers,
thing,
right? We
right,
raise them the best we can, but in the end of the day, they look up to people, and that's who they want to be like and mimic.
right, right. So, if you're not gonna be a role model, then maybe you should just move around or get under the radar or something, the best you can. So
Right.
I don't know. Uh,
Well, let me just personally thank you for being the man you are, because I do believe that's a choice. So I thank you for choosing that. You could have chosen another way, and you didn't. Um,
I appreciate
Moving
that.
along back to your fighting, do you have anything coming up? Any kind of all those names I just said?
So we're in the process of, maybe December we'll get back into the boxing ring. And
Okay.
if BKFC calls, I'm always there.
Nice.
I'm always there, man. So whenever BKFC calls, but we've been vigorously working for December. So hopefully
December.
December we'll be back in the ring. I think maybe on ESPN or something. I'm not sure. So,
And other than YouTube and Facebook, do you have a website? Do you have merchandise if people are a fan and they want to look you up?
man, we always got shirts. If y'all want to look me up, y'all can look me up on Facebook, man. For the most part, I add everybody on Facebook anyways. I use that as my fan page. I'm real big into Instagram now because that's where
Okay.
everybody's at. So Teflon Don JT, that's
Teflon
my
Don
Instagram.
JT.
Uh, Besides that, that's it. I don't really, I don't do the fan pages and all that. If you
Right,
want a
right.
T-shirt, man, if I'm printing shirts, I'll sell them for like $20 or something. I don't know, but
Okay, cool, cool. And definitely he is on YouTube. Look him up. If you do have stuff coming up, make sure you tag me as well so I can get the word out there. I want everybody to get to know you and see you. Much like Kevin Kennymore, you just got like that relaxed vibe and spirit that draw people to you. And I think once people see that, man, they're just going to be a fan for life like I am.
I
I also
appreciate
want
it.
to tell you before we wrap this up, I want to ask you one more question. If there was one thing you could tell a younger Juan or the kids out there listening now, what would it be? What would be your one piece of advice if you could only give one piece of advice?
Man, I got asked a question like that a few days ago, man.
It's a
If I could
basic one,
change,
but I'm very curious.
yeah, um, I don't know, man. I, I, I got asked if I could change something that happened to me in my life when I was younger, and I don't think I would, man.
Right.
Everything happened for a reason. The only thing I would change would be, saving my sister,
Mm-hmm.
helping my sister be a better person. That's probably the only thing that I would change. Um, what would I tell a younger one? Hmm,
Because I
man, just
doubt,
be
I just can't see if you told younger Juan, like, say, hey, you're going to be a teacher working with troubled kids, probably younger Juan would be like, okay, what you smoking, bro?
yeah, right. Man, I just tell myself be a good person, man. Do the right thing.
Be
I know,
kind. Yeah.
be kind. We all, and I'm not perfect. I am not
No,
perfect. I
nobody
screw up
is. Right.
every day. I screw up. There's,
Right.
I could name a bunch of things I did today that I fucked up. So,
Right.
just be the best person you can be. Be a good person and treat people the way you want to be treated. So,
And allow
yeah,
yourself to be human. We're all human. We all make
we
mistakes.
all we all make mistakes, man.
As cliche as it is all about the journey. Well, man, I just want to thank you again and tell you that, as I tell most of my other guests, that time is the most precious gift you can give somebody, and you shared that with me. So I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Man, thanks so much for
Yes, sir, for
talking to
sure.
me.
Anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Well, hang
I
out with me for
appreciate it.
just a second. I'll end the broadcast and then I'll come right back to you and then we'll wrap up and I'll let you get going, man. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good. Yes, sir.
Everybody, peace out. Thanks for watching another edition of Chronic Conversations. Stay tuned for what else is coming for the Chronic Network. We got some ghost hunting episodes coming up, all kinds of other paranormal things and adventures. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys, and peace out.
Oh,
Peace.
yeah.